dear students. Welcome back to another session on engineering chemistry. This is Dr. Sarita, working in St. Peter's Engineering College as a professor of chemistry. So today we are going to discuss about the new chapter known as corrosion. So corrosion is one of the chapter in the second unit. We have two parts in the unit 2, electrochemistry and corrosion. So today we will start our new chapter, that is corrosion. Corrosion, this is the most frequently used term by most of the people, especially in the industries where we will have the usage of instruments, especially which are made with iron or some other metals, where we used to have the common word corrosion. So corrosion means as soon as we thought of that word, generally the iron will come into picture, into our mind. That is the rusting of iron. So what is rusting of iron? Where iron is going to convert to one of its derivative, which is known as ferric oxide. Hydrated ferric oxide is known as the rust. So that is the corrosion of iron metal. And also tarnishing of silver and formation of a green color layer on copper. All these is because of the corrosion of that metals like iron, silver or copper. So what is corrosion actually, and why the reason metals will undergo corrosion, that we will discuss first. So like how I have said, iron will get converted into its derivative. That is one of the example for corrosion. So what is it? What is happening actually here? Iron is getting converted to ferric oxide. That is Fu2O3 3H2. Hydrated ferric oxide. This is the formula of rust. So where what is happening? Iron, that is the pure metal, it is getting converted to one of its derivative. This is known as the rusting of iron, and this is the example of corrosion. Now if you want to define the corrosion, how we can define is the decay. Here what is happening? The iron metal is undergoing in the form of rust, that is ferric oxide. Means some amount of iron will be wasted in the form of ferric oxide. So here the corrosion can be defined as the decay or disintegration of a metal when it is exposed to the active environment, maybe by the chemical attack or by the electrochemical attack. That is the decay or disintegration of a metal when it is exposed to active environment by the chemical or electrochemical attack. So the attack of the environment will take place on the metal surface, maybe through the chemical attack or through the electrochemical attack. Means maybe direct attack of the chemicals on the iron surface or on the metal, or maybe due to the formation of electrochemical cells on the surface of metal. Both will lead to decay or disintegration. How it is happening? Because here in the formation of rust, iron is getting converted to ferric oxide. So here the decay or disintegration of iron metal will takes place. Now one more example is, you might have observed the formation of a green color layer on the copper. The utensils which are made with the copper, that may be when it is exposed to the environment in the presence of water, then what will happen is a green color layer will be formed, and that is nothing but the combination of cupric hydroxide and cupric carbonate. So this is the green film which is formed on the surface of copper. Green film which is formed on the surface of copper, and it is also an example for the corrosion of the copper metal. Now coming to the tarnishing of silver. Tarnishing of silver. When silver metal is exposed to the hydrogen sulfide with the environment which is consisting of hydrogen sulfide, silver will get converted to silver sulfide, Ag2S, silver sulfide. And the silver sulfide is a black color layer which is formed on the silver articles when it is exposed to the environment, surrounding environment which is having the hydrogen sulfide gas. So this is known as the tarnishing of silver. So all these are the examples for the corrosion. So corrosion is mainly where the metal is undergoing decay or disintegration by the attack of chemical or electrochemical attack of the environment. Okay, so this is about the corrosion and its examples. Now coming to the reason why these metals are undergoing corrosion, why there is a decay or disintegration of the metal is taking place when it is exposed to the active environment. That is the reason for the corrosion. Reason for the corrosion. You all know that metals are not directly available in the earth crust. They are available in the form of their ores. Ores are nothing but the metallic ores. Metals are available in the form of their ores, metallic ores, and these metallic ores may be chlorides, carbonates and sulfates or oxides of different metals. So metals are available in the form of metallic ores. Okay, these metallic ores are having the low energy. Hence they are thermodynamically stable, and these are stable. And to extract these metals, we are going for the method which is known as the metal extraction, and this is the reduction process. Metals are extracted from the metallic ores by using the reduction process, and this is known as the extraction of metals, and which can be done by giving some energy, to the metallic ores. Now we will get the metals, and as we are collecting it or extracting from the metallic ores by giving some energy, so obviously metals will have the high energy, and when the materials are having high energy, obviously thermodynamically they are low stable. They are less stable or low stable. Less stable. High energy means less stable. So because metals are having high energy and less stable, always whenever they will come in contact with the active environment, always they will try to convert into their stable form, that is their metallic ores. And this is the process which is known as the corrosion, and this is the oxidation process generally, and which is known as corrosion. Because the metals are extracted from the metallic ores by giving some energy during their extraction, and which is a reduction process, obviously the metals which we are obtaining by the extraction, they will be having the high energy, hence thermodynamically they are less stable. So whenever they will come in contact with the active environment, always they will try to get the stability by converting into their derivatives again. So that conversion of metals into their derivatives by the oxidation process, the derivatives may be of oxides, carbonates, sulfates, chlorides, like that. So conversion of the metals into their derivatives through the oxidation process is known as the corrosion. So this is the reverse of the reduction process, that is the reverse of the extraction of the metals from their metallic ores. So that is why the reason always metals will undergo corrosion whenever they will come in contact with the active environment, either by the direct chemical attack or by the formation of the electrochemical cells on the surface of the metals. Now how to represent the corrosion? How we will indicate the corrosion? What are the units of corrosion? generally corrosion will be expressed, because here what is happening, the metals are converting into their derivatives. So corrosion, the units for the corrosion are milli-inches per year. Milli-inches per year or milliamperes per year. Yeah, how much amount of corrosion product is formed, the milli-inches of corrosion product formed per year is mentioned as a unit for the corrosion, or milliamperes, because corrosion is one kind of electrochemical reaction. So how much amount of corrosion current is produced when the metal is undergoing corrosion, so that may be expressed in the form of milliamperes per year. So that is the units to express the corrosion of different metals. Now what are the disadvantages? Like I have said you, in most of the industries, all the equipments will be made with either metals or their alloys. So when they are made with the metals, and if the room is air conditioned, or when there is exposure of that particular instrument to the active environment, which is consisting of atmospheric gases, like maybe of a carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, H2S or oxygen, then easily that metals of the instruments will get converted to their derivatives, means rusting of the metals will take place, or corrosion product will be formed for the metals. So that what happened, the efficiency of that equipment is going to be lost, and equipment means mostly that will be costly, and that will leads to the loss for the industry. So that is one disadvantage. And the other disadvantage is most of the iron, almost 1/4 of iron total production will be going to lost during this corrosion process, means 1/4 of iron will be lost because of the corrosion for total of its production. 1/4 of iron will be wasted because of the corrosion. So that is most of the disadvantage. And mostly the metals are precious always, so metals are going to convert it to their metallic ores, means their derivatives. So metals will be wasted, whatever the metal, that metal will be wasted. So that will leads to the deficiency or decrease in the efficiency of the machinery which is made with the metal. So that is the disadvantage of the corrosion. So now we will discuss what are the different types of corrosion and how corrosion will take place. What is the mechanism for the corrosion? So the corrosion will take place either by the chemical attack or by the electrochemical attack. So how chemical attack will take place? That is by the attack, means corrosion may take place by the direct attack of the atmospheric gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Corrosion may take place either by the attack of atmospheric gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, H2S, or halogens, or inorganic liquids, or by the electrochemical attack. By the electrochemical attack in presence of moisture. So the corrosion may take place in two ways. One is which is known as the chemical attack, direct chemical attack of the atmospheric gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide and halogen, or inorganic liquids on the metal surface, or otherwise this will take place, chemical attack will take place in absence of the moisture, which is known as the dry corrosion, or by the electrochemical formation, electrochemical cell formation in presence of the moisture on the metal surface. So this is known as the electrochemical corrosion, which will take place in presence of moisture. So on the way, we can divide the corrosion into two types. One is in absence of moisture, which is known as chemical attack, and in presence of moisture, which is known as the electrochemical attack on the metal surface. So broadly, we can divide the corrosion into two types. One is the dry corrosion or chemical corrosion. The other one, second one, is the wet corrosion, which will take place in presence of moisture, or which is also known as the electrochemical corrosion. Electrochemical corrosion. So dry or chemical corrosion, which will take place by the direct attack of the chemicals on the metal surface, and which is known as the dry or chemical corrosion. Again, this will be classified into three types. The dry corrosion may take place by the attack of the atmospheric oxygen, which is known as oxidation corrosion, which is known as oxidation corrosion, or by the attack of other gases, corrosion by other gases, and third one is liquid metal corrosion. Liquid metal corrosion. So we have under the dry corrosion, we have three different types of corrosions. If it is by the attack of oxygen, it is known as the oxidation corrosion, and if it is by the attack of gases other than oxygen, then it is corrosion by other gases, and if it is by the attack of the liquid metal, then it is known as the liquid metal corrosion. Now wet or electrochemical corrosion. This corrosion will take place in presence of the moisture and by the formation of electrochemical cells on the surface of metal, by the formation of anodic part and cathodic part on the surface of metal. So again, this we are having different types. Okay, that is by evolution of hydrogen type, evolution of hydrogen type of mechanism, and by absorption of oxygen type of mechanism. Both of this will comes under electrochemical corrosion, but the mechanism will be different. One is with the evolution of hydrogen and the other one is with the absorption of oxygen. And next we have galvanic corrosion. Concentration cell corrosion, concentration cell corrosion, and pitting corrosion. Concentration cell and pitting corrosion. So wet or electrochemical corrosion, again this is classified into so many different types, but we have in our syllabus. Under the electrochemical corrosion, we have two mechanisms: by evolution of hydrogen, absorption of oxygen, and the other mechanism is wet corrosion is galvanic corrosion, that is the formation of galvanic cell on the surface of metals or alloys, and formation of concentration cells on the metal surface, that is concentration cell corrosion and pitting corrosion. So these are the different types of wet or electrochemical corrosion. So now we will discuss the first type of corrosion, that is dry or chemical corrosion. The difference between dry and wet corrosion is the corrosion which will take place by the direct attack of the atmospheric gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, or halogens, or maybe by the attack of inorganic liquids or by the flow of liquid metal on the surface of metal, all these will comes under the dry or chemical corrosion, because this is taking place in absence of moisture. And the corrosion which is taking place in presence of moisture by the formation of an electrochemical cell on the surface of metal, which is known as the wet or electrochemical corrosion. So electrochemical corrosion, again we have many different types of electrochemical corrosions. One is a evolution of hydrogen type of mechanism, other one is the absorption of oxygen type of mechanism. Next is galvanic corrosion, concentration cell corrosion and pitting corrosion. Oxidation corrosion. The first type of dry or chemical corrosion. The dry or chemical corrosion which will take place by the direct attack of atmospheric oxygen, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, H2S, halogens or inorganic liquids, or by the flow of liquid metal on the metal surface. That type of corrosion is known as a dry or chemical corrosion, which will take place in absence of moisture. So in that attacking gases, if only atmospheric oxygen will attack on the metal surface, then that is known as the oxidation corrosion. This is one of the type of dry or chemical corrosion. So oxidation corrosion will take place by the direct attack of atmospheric oxygen on the metal surface in absence of moisture. This will take place by the direct attack of the atmospheric oxygen, where the metal will get converted to their metal oxides. So this is known as the oxidation corrosion, and which will take place in absence of the moisture, because it is the dry type of corrosion. So how it will take place and which kind of metals will undergo oxidation corrosion is, all the metals at high temperatures will undergo oxidation corrosion except the three noble metals, that is silver, gold and platinum. Except silver, gold, platinum, all the different metals will undergo oxidation corrosion at high temperatures. But alkali and alkaline earth metals, that is first A and second A group elements, will undergo oxidation corrosion even at the low temperatures also. Except these metals, remaining all metals will undergo oxidation corrosion at high temperatures. Whereas at low temperatures also, the first A and second A, that is alkali and alkaline earth metals, will undergo oxidation corrosion. So what will happen in the oxidation corrosion is the mechanism. When the metal surface is exposed to the atmospheric oxygen, then what will happen is, for example, this is the metal surface. And this is the metal surface. When this metal surface is exposed to the atmospheric oxygen, then what will happen is, the metal will undergo oxidation and it will convert to metal ions. And the atmospheric oxygen will attack convert to oxide ion. So the metal will undergoes oxidation because metals are highly electropositive. In presence of atmospheric oxygen, metals will undergo oxidation to form metal ions plus along with the liberation of 2 electrons. So this is the oxidation reaction, and the atmospheric oxygen will gain these 2 electrons and undergoes reduction to form the oxide ion, and the overall reaction will be M plus half O2 gives rise to MO. This is metal oxide. This MO is metal oxide, and this is the reduction reaction. So when the metal surface is exposed to the atmospheric oxygen, the metals will undergo oxidation to form the metal ions with the liberation of electrons, because metals are highly electropositive. Then the atmospheric oxygen will gain the 2 electrons and it will convert to oxide ion. So now the metal and the oxygen will combine to form the metal oxide, that is MO, metal oxide layer. So initially a single metal oxide layer will be formed. This is the metal oxide layer, single metal oxide layer formed on the surface of metal. And after the formation of this metal oxide layer, further rate of oxidation corrosion will be based on the nature of this metal oxide layer. Based on this nature of metal oxide layer, whether the further corrosion will take place or to how much extent that will take place, means further rate of oxidation corrosion will be based on the metal oxide layer which is formed on the surface of metal. Initially, one metal oxide layer is formed on the surface of metal, and further what will happen is the metal will diffuse out of the metal oxide layer, and oxide ion will diffuse inside of the metal oxide layer to penetrate into the metal, so that the metal ion and oxide ion will combine to form the metal oxide layer. And further rate of oxidation after formation of single metal oxide layer, further rate of corrosion will be based on the nature of metal oxide layer which is formed. So this is about the mechanism of the oxidation corrosion. Now how the rate of corrosion, oxidation corrosion is going to be based on nature of the metal oxide layer. Whether further oxidation will take place or it will stop at the formation of a single layer, that will be entirely based on the nature of metal oxide layer. Nature of metal oxide layer. So here there are some conditions. For example, if the metal oxide layer is a stable one, if the metal oxide layer is a stable one, then what will happen is that metal oxide layer will firmly stick on to the metal surface. For example, this is a metal, this black color one is a metal, and this layer is the oxide layer. And if this layer, metal oxide layer, is a stable layer, then what will happen is it will firmly stick on to the metal surface and it will not allow the further attack of the atmospheric oxygen, because it is the stable one. So this is what will happen. This will act as a protective layer and it will not allow the further oxygen to attack onto the metal surface. So in case if the metal oxide layer is a stable layer, then there is no further corrosion. There is no further oxidation corrosion. For example, this is the metal. by the attack of the atmospheric oxygen. If a metal oxide layer is formed and which is a stable, then there is further no more. This is the metal oxide layer, and if it is stable, there is no more corrosion further. For example, the metal oxide layer formed on copper, chromium, nickel, tin, lead. The metal oxide layer formed on copper, chromium, tin, nickel and lead. On the metal oxide layer of all these metals is stable in nature, which will not further allow the flow of oxygen to enter into that layer, so that it will act as a protective layers. So there is no more further oxidation, corrosion in case of the metals like copper, chromium, nickel, tin and lead. So this is about the if metal oxide layer is stable. If the metal oxide layer is unstable, if the metal oxide layer is unstable, then as soon as it is formed, again it will decompose. As soon as it is formed, it will decompose to form the free metal and oxygen. It will form free metal and oxygen. And again, if atmospheric oxygen will attack, again one more metal oxide layer will be formed and it will be of unstable, and again it will decompose to form the free metal and oxygen. In this case also, there is no further corrosion. Further corrosion will not take place in this case where we are having the metal oxide layer as unstable, because it will decompose to form the free metal and the oxygen. And for example, the metal oxide layer which is formed on silver, gold and platinum. Because of this reason, this will not undergo oxidation, corrosion. So next, if the metal oxide layer is a volatile layer, if the metal oxide layer is, for example, if this is a metal oxide layer, if it is a volatile, means as soon as it is formed, this total metal oxide layer will evaporate. So that what will happen? Free metal surface will be exposed again to the atmospheric oxygen. Again atmospheric oxygen will attack on further more metal, and again metal oxide layer is formed. It is also evaporated. So that continuously oxidation, corrosion will take place until the total metal will get converted to its metal oxide layer and it will evaporate. So in this case, there is a severe corrosion. So in this case, there is a rapid corrosion, because the metal oxide layer will evaporate and further again fresh metal oxide layer is formed, it will also evaporate. For example, the metal oxide layer formed on molybdenum oxide layer. It is a volatile layer. So here, until the total molybdenum will get converted to molybdenum oxide, the corrosion will take place. So here there will be rapid corrosion or severe corrosion. And if the metal oxide layer is porous layer, if the metal oxide layer is porous, then what will happen is, if it is having some holes on it, if the metal oxide layer is having some holes on it, through the holes the atmospheric oxygen will enter into the underlying metal and it will attack on the metal, and there the metal oxide layer is formed. Again the second layer is also having the pores, and through that pores again some more oxygen will attack. So this will continue until the total metal will get converted to its oxide. So here also there is a severe corrosion. In this case also there will be a severe corrosion. So if the metal oxide layer is a porous one, then there will be severe corrosion. So example for this type of metal oxide layers are the metal oxide layers which are formed on alkali and alkaline earth metals. Alkali and alkaline earth metals. So this is about the oxidation corrosion. Oxidation corrosion will take place by the direct attack of the atmospheric oxygen in absence of the moisture. And initially, one single metal oxide layer is formed where the metal will undergo oxidation to form the metal ions, and oxygen will gain that electrons, undergoes reduction to convert into oxide layer. So this oxide ions and metal ions will combine to form the single metal oxide layer, and after the formation of single metal oxide layer, the further rate of corrosion will be based on the nature of metal oxide layer. So if the metal oxide layer is a stable one, it will firmly stick onto the metal surface, so there is no more oxidation corrosion further. Examples are copper, chromium, nickel, tin and lead. And if the metal oxide layer is unstable one, as soon as it is formed, it will decompose to form the free metal and oxygen. So in this case also there is no more further corrosion. Examples are silver, gold and platinum. And if the metal oxide layer is a volatile layer, as soon as it is formed, it will evaporate. So in this case there will be a rapid corrosion. Example is molybdenum oxide layer. And if the metal oxide layer is a porous one, then in this case there will be a severe corrosion which is taking place. And example is alkali and alkaline earth metals. So in the next class we will discuss about the other type of corrosion, that is a wet or electrochemical corrosion. Thank you.